Hi, welcome back to Wallflowers. So today I'm making a very frugal meal and I'm basically just using up the odds and ends of vegetables that need using up out the freezer. A short crust pastry that I bought for 20 pence from the Food Initiative. And I've made a quick stock from just a generic stock cube and added water. So in this pan, I've got cauliflower, carrots, a tin of potatoes, and that's this pan. In this pan, I've got a quarter of a cabbage, a small cabbage. I've got sprouts and I've got onion. And in this bowl, I've got half a small tin of ham, and I've just basically ground it down. So I'm now going to put everything together in the same pan. I'm going to use the soft paddle spatula so it's less noisy and I get everything out. So yes, often we cook all the pastry. We make the pastry ourselves and we'll cook off some meat, etc. But today it's just quick and simple. This half a ham was just literally sitting in the fridge because we'd used half of it for sandwiches. And as I say, the rest of the vegetables were just sitting in the fridge that we hadn't got round to using. So instead of letting them go limp and having them end up in the bin or landfill, which is where we salvaged them from in the first place by shopping at the Food Initiatives, I'm going to make sure we thoroughly use them up. My really old trusty masher that I've had for many, many years. And I'm just bringing everything together in the pan. I don't really want it to be too sloppy. So that gravy's just actually made it a little bit sloppier than I'd like it to be. Let's see if the ham makes a difference. So for now, I do believe that's a little bit sloppier than I'd like it to be. So Mr. Wallflowers having a quick taste. I've got a jar of the instant mashed potato on the pantry shelf. And I'm just literally going to start and add 1 tablespoon and see if that gets to the consistency that I want. Again, I'm getting a workout doing this. This is the exercise people had in the past when they actually cooked their own food. I'm going to try another heaped tablespoon, and that's as far as I want to go with that. So that's the vegetables a bit thicker, and hopefully if I sit it there for a few moments, it'll only get thicker. So now let's move on to the pastry. Again, I've had this flour sat in the cupboard for quite a while. I'm just working through my stocks at the moment of things that need using up. Let's take half of that away. I'm a messy cooker, but that's okay. What's the old saying? You can't make an omelette without cracking some eggs. So here we have the pastry. Just gonna cut that in half and leave half there. Turn that over and start rolling this out. I'm quite happy with that, so I can get at least 2 from that and then reform the excess. So I'm going to chop that down the middle, leave that to one side a moment, and to lay that over my pasty cutter. And I'm not going to put too much of this filling in because I don't want it spilling out everywhere. So I'm just going to pour 1 tablespoon in each, and I think that's sufficient. No, half a teaspoon, I think that's sufficient. I'm going to double it over, press. I've bought several of these pasty cutters over the years, and some have turned up through the post and they've been ridiculously small sizes, and this has been near enough the only one that we've bought that has been the actual proper size. So let me just pop that there, Mr. Wildflowers. I've got my sheet ready, and I'm just going to lay it there. I'll take my next piece. I'm going to lay that on the wheel again. So we're saying 2 spoons. Let's kind of smooth it round. We don't want it squishing up the end, so let's bring it towards the centre. Right, let's flop our pastry out. I've gone the wrong way.
You said the pastry out.
See, that's what happens, but hey, this is real life. We don't cheat, we don't stop the camera. We just say, this is what we do in the kitchen, this is what happens, this is real. So we'll flop it that way. Let's make sure we bring the pastry down far enough for it to crimp. Fold this over, give it a good squeeze so it crimps properly. Is it spilling this one?
It's because you folded it instead of keeping it.
Right. Pasty number 2. Right, let's roll this pastry out again. I'm enjoying this because I haven't done any proper pastry making or pie making for quite a while. So although it's a cheap and used pastry, I got it at a fantastic deal, so I don't mind. Let's just say that's sufficient. Let's get our 2 spoons going the right way.
Use the handle to do.
Let's pull the pastry. I just need to make it sure it's at the crimping stage. Take the waste pastry off again. And there we have it. So these are filling up nicely. Yeah. And we'll do that gradually as we go along. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to continue to do that. I'm going to leave that piece of pastry till we get the extras of this at the end. Rinse and repeat. Waste not, want not, totally is the whole ethos of this video, as you will see by the title. You know, those vegetables could have easily been thrown away. The carrots were on the last legs. The cauliflower had been sat in the fridge a week.
Yeah.
But hey, we're not about that. We've saved it from landfill, so we're going to make sure we thoroughly use it. Use every last thing that you possibly can. This one's already knowing where it's going. Nice. And the rest of this, I've actually got another packet of shortcrust pastry. I've actually got some puff pastry in the freezer too, so I'm not sure which I'll use. But I might add some more meat to it, make a family pie with what's left over in the pan afterwards, so none of it will go to waste. Oh, see, I didn't make it join. Let's crimp it again and see where we go. That'll do. We're okay with that.
Lancashire pasty.
Lancashire pasties. We have to say that because our moderator on the channel is Cornwall, and Cornwall are famous for their pasties. Don't come for us, Bridge. She will. And that's why I pull the pastry over, to make sure there's the crimping space at the end. Yeah, it's a very basic recipe I'm doing here today. It's not, you know, something fancy. I'm not trying to teach Granny to suck eggs or anything like that. But it's vital to use up things that we've actually paid good money for, you know, instead of putting it in the dustbin. It's vital to feed our families with it. It's not wanting out, that little bit still gets used. What are you using up out your fridge? Or having to empty out the freezer to make space for other things? What meals are you creating from end of fridge or the bottom of the freezer this week? Because we all do it. We all have to take things out to make room for the new stuff, and we forget what's at the back of the fridge unless you're ultra organised, and I'm afraid we're not. So we often say, right, it's a fridge meal. What's in the fridge first before we go looking in the freezer? This one's already tidying itself up. Right. And if you're not eating these tonight, what we've found out the best way, because we often make these, I'd say not for a while though, but we have done on a regular basis, is if you're not eating them straight away, freeze them at this stage rather than cooking them and freeze them. Just put them in Ziplocs and freeze them at this stage, and you'll get a better result when you do come to actually eating them. Otherwise, if you cook them and freeze them, sometimes they go way too hard, the pastry. Yeah. You'll be looking for the big fat one, won't you? Because you want the fuller one. I can see you watching. This one's going to spill out. One last one out of these pastry bits, hopefully.
About 8 pasties from one packet.
One packet of shortcrust pastry. There we go, for 20 pence. The ham cost me 20 pence. If you want to go back and check my prices on the haul, the ham cost me 20 pence, so I've only used 10 pence of that. The shortcrust pastry has cost me 20 pence. The vegetables, they cost me £1 for 5 different vegetables, and I've actually only used probably about a third of 3 different vegetables. So let's call that 30 pence at most. So where are we? 60 pence. What else have I added to it? And I probably somewhere along the way paid 20 pence for the tin of potatoes. So it's probably cost me 80 pence. And I'm getting what? At least 8 pasties for 80 pence. So at 2 people, that's, 4 meals for 80 pence. So, you can't go far wrong at that. And that's just stuff generally would be thrown away out your fridge. So I don't do the pantry week. I've said many times I don't do the eat down your pantry stuff or anything like that. But I do make sure I'm eating what I've paid for in my own freezer. I'm going to fit that way, aren't we? Let's see if I've got enough to make one last one. I know what I want to. I can basically. I can fit one more on here. They're not going to expand, they're only going to bake. Am I fully on? I'm going to put these on 180, which is gas mark 6. It'll probably be, enough time to cook the pastry, so about 25 minutes. That's because I'm talking at the same time. See, it's real life, real food, real work. It's not make-believe, folks. It's a real kitchen in our home. And there we have it. Little tiny pastry bit left. If it was a pie, I might keep that and just put the bow on top of the pie on the next one. And there we have it. I'm just going to pop a little hole in each pasty. I think water will do just as good. Okay, do you want to give me a drop of milk? I don't really want to waste an egg at this stage. So we'll just have a tiny, don't go overboard, just a tiny bit. Okay, that's plenty. So we'll just have a little drop of milk at Mr. W's request. I'd been happy with water, and he wouldn't have known the difference. You wouldn't have done. I've had a spillage there, so I'm mopping that up as I go. Eight waste not, want not pasties. I'm quite happy with that. Or ham pies. 9 have we got? 9, yeah, I'm quite happy with that. How much would they have cost in the frozen aisle, do you think?
£4.52.
So it would have been about £4. What did we make it up to? 80 pence? Okay. No airs and graces, nothing fancy, but decent homemade pasties, and they'll fill us up for tea. Okay, I'll pop them in now for 25 minutes and I'll show you when we take them out Fingers crossed we don't burn them out. So 25 minutes later, and they're finally out the oven. Homemade food, that's how it's going to look. And I'm quite happy with the results. So I'm going to take one of the ones that have expanded a little bit and the hole's open. I'm going to take this one to do our taste test with. And I'll sort the rest out to do our evening meals for the next couple of days. You can even take one for lunch for work if you fancy. So they're still a bit hot. I'm just going to take that corner off so we've got a little bit of everything in his taster. And Mr. Wallflowers can have his taste test.
Starving as well.
So what sauce, because you always use a condiment, what sauce will you have for those?
Brown, I think.
Brown sauce. Yeah. Yeah?
Well,
Would you want one or two?
probably two.
Speaking with your mouth full. Right, it's my turn to test. I see you chopping away to finish it off. All right, let's see. Let's get a bit of filling. Is it really still hot?
No, it's not too bad. Pastry's nice and crusty.
Still a bit hot for me. Very tasty. Very tasty. Now, I didn't actually add any salt or pepper to the vegetables or garlic or herbs or any of those flavours, just the onion. But the fact that it's got the minced ham in it has just give it enough salt and it's really flavoursome. Thank you so much for joining us today. As I asked earlier, if you're making any recipes like these or you make pasties or pies to put in the freezer from what's left over in the fridge, pop it in the comments and let me know what type you make. Take care, remember you're loved, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye. I'm going in for another bite.